Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really real, a villain real. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right, last week was a bad week. Let's put that behind us. Let's get back forward. I feel a lot better. We came out of the weekend up a unit, 3-2 over the Discord picks over the weekend. Make sure you get into that Discord. I'm telling you right now, uh, it's easy to see a tide turn, as I've heard people say in the past. Shout out to the Alabama Crimson Tide. But this is it. This is it. This is where we start putting together a bunch of string of wins. And this is where I feel my luck turning because I see it. I see the foolishness that the NBA has going on in the beginning of the season. And I think I have now gotten to the point where I am dodging the foolishness and I'm getting straight to the picks. Almost dodged the foolishness with a 3-0 day, but the Denver Nuggets chose not to add to the total at all whatsoever. So I missed on the Nuggets and the Grizzlies over, but I did hit on Pistons team total over. I did hit Trailblazers plus 4.5, sprinkled in that money line. They got the outright win. The Atlanta Hawks are just a horrible, horrible, horrible organization. Horrible organization. And I kind of want to fade them again today. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I have three plays that I want to give out. But first, before I do that, I have to make sure I tell you all again about the Muggsy Bogues contest. Make sure you go and you drop one, give me a 5-star rating and review, please. I just need that in general. But if you go ahead and just drop a comment under any Fast Break Bets video, and that's your entry. As long as you're subscribed. I mean, if you're not subscribed, I don't know what to tell you. You should be subscribed. Like, if you're listening to this, why are you listening to this and you're searching for this podcast every day? No, just subscribe and you'll get the notification. So, duh, do that. But you have a chance for the contest to get the jersey. All you have to do is just leave us a comment on any Fast Break Bets videos this month, and that is your entry. So there we go. It's easy as that. And then a signed Muggsy Bogues jersey is yours. Shout out to the Queen City. Shout out to the Charlotte Hornets. All right, here we go. I have 3 plays. I have one play that is pending. It is going to be a live bet. And then I have 2 other bets that I'm looking at. One I'm probably not gonna make, but the other I might make depending on how I feel tomorrow, especially if we look good in the morning slate. I might just go ahead and add that late, but not morning slate, early slate. But nonetheless, that's enough talking. Let's get to the picks before somebody else complains. Here we are. First game on the docket. We have the Detroit Pistons at home against the Chicago Bulls. Pistons laying 4 here. 233.5 is the total. So we're coming off of the weekend where we just took Pistons team total over. And I'm feeling I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling how this Pistons team. This is actually going back through the records. This is the third time we backed the Pistons, and this is the third time we've got a win. Well, no, I lied. This is the second time we backed the Pistons. This didn't count. That didn't count. I didn't really bet that. So, nonetheless, kind of starting to get a good little feel on the Pistons here. They're just a scrappy team. More than likely, they're probably going to be in majority of their games. They may play a bad team like the Wizards and blow them out like they just did. And they may play a team like Chicago that are they gonna win? Are they gonna win this and are they gonna win it by margin? Maybe, possibly. I mean, they probably should. Chicago's horrible defensively, and I mean absolutely horrible. But You look here and quietly for a Detroit Pistons offense that has started the season horrible, and I mean horrible, 22nd in offensive rating in their games at home, 22nd in offensive rating. They've really put it together over the last 5 games. Now, do they have an outlier game against the Raptors where they didn't really need to play too much offense? They played a lot of really good defense, kept that game close, was able to fight it off and get a win. Yes, but look at 3 the last 4 games. They put up 124 on Washington. I told you the Toronto game, they only got 99. They put up 120 in a loss against the Bucks and 123 in a win against Miami. They're hot right now, and they're able to score the basketball, and they're taking advantage of the matchups. Like, they're taking advantage and just taking what the defense gives them. Cade Cunningham has been playing amazing. Jalen Duren has been a really nice piece for them. They're getting great play from Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris. Like, they're playing really good basketball right now. They're competitive. I think this is a team that they can score on in the Chicago Bulls, who, if you look at what they're doing on the road, they're giving up 123 points per game on the road. That is 29th in the NBA this season. They're giving up a bunch of points off of turnovers. They're not getting back in transition. The pace for these two teams are absolutely insane. The Bulls are number 1 in pace, especially in their road games. Number 1 in pace on in their road games. And also here, the Bulls also don't offensive rebound well at all. So I think that that'll limit their possessions, give more possessions back to the Pistons, who are pretty solid in not allowing offensive rebounds and really good in offensive rebounding in their own right, top 10 in the NBA. So, yeah, I like the Pistons here. I like them to go over their team total. I we'll be careful, and Chicago's been really scrappy. They just got blew out yesterday. So I don't want any part of Chicago going on a crazy, crazy scoring run. But the Pistons team total is at 119.5. Like I said, they've scored 120 in 3 of their last 4 games. Looking at the Chicago Bulls, they gave up 143 to Houston last night. They gave up 144 to Cleveland, 123 to the Knicks in a win. They gave up 119 to Cleveland and 113 to the Hawks. So last 3 games, they've given up this number. 3 of the last 5 been pretty good. Fading the Bulls right now, especially on the road. We're gonna go ahead and take Pistons team total over 119.5. Hopefully they get to 121 more time. All right. Play number 2 and 3 coming from the same game. We have the Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Miami Heat. Heat are laying 3. 213 is the total. Well, the first play should be rather easy. And I mean, if I've been talking about it, I probably haven't hit it on the head as much as I probably should have on this show. But nonetheless, the Miami Heat are 0-3 as a home favorite. Just picking up where they left off of not covering the number at home. 0-3. Shout out to the Miami Heat for just continuously, and I mean continuously, just not covering the number at home when they're laying points. This is not the team you want to back. Laying points at home. We've talked about it. I told you how over the course of time, the Miami Heat just have not been good to covering the number. I believe it. The number is at what, some 47% now. It constantly fluctuates at this point, but they don't cover. They don't cover consistently, and I just continue to fade them. Like, continue every single time. Every opportunity I get, I fade the Miami Heat when they're laying points at home. Now they're playing a Philadelphia 76ers team who I can admit, since Joel Embiid has come back, and even before he came back, it hasn't looked good for the 76ers. But this team is 2-10. Their back is against the wall. If you look at, let's isolate these two teams into what they're doing recently. So, what's going on in the last 5 games between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat? Oh, I just lost my screen. Here we go. All right, we're back. So, all right. if you're looking at the last 5 games and what they're doing, you think of what's been going on early season, and that's why I say isolate things to the last 5 games because I wanna see what are these teams doing for me right now, not what have these teams been doing for me in the past. So, very, very early in the season, the Philadelphia 76ers couldn't stop anybody, they look horrible defensively, wasn't playing good at all. Miami kinda was up and down, but they were really, really solid defensively in the first part of the season. If you look at the last 5 games, and that's actually switched, the Philadelphia 76ers are allowing 108.8 points per game in the last in the last 5 games, I'm sorry. That is 6th in the NBA, and the Miami Heat are allowing 115.6 points per game. That is 20th. The Miami Heat also coming off of a long road trip here. They played a 6-game road trip, and since 2022, uh teams that are on a 6-game road trip and they come back home and are home favorites, they are 42.9%, 9 and 12 against the spread. If you look a little bit deeper, there hasn't been a run of 3 wins in a row for this trend since 2022, 2023. Yep, December 26, 2022, there was a win for the Trailblazers, a win for the Hornets on the 29th of 2022 in December, and then February 8th, 2023, a win for the Raptors. Outside of that, there hasn't been a 3-game stretch where this trend has gone out and covered all 3 games. Right now, this trend has covered the last 2. Celtics and Lakers got the cover in April of last year. This is the first time for the trend this year. It's something that I like to back and I continue to back. And I think this is a spot where it can get right, especially for a 76ers team that is just really, really desperate right now. So I am fading the Miami Heat coming back home after a long road trip, fading them as a home favorite overall. I think this is a get up spot for the 76ers, whose back is really against the wall at 2 and 10 right here. They really, really need a win, and they're coming off of rest where the Miami Heat are coming off of back to back plus travel. 1 plus 1 equals 2 there for me. I know I've been really, really tough with some of the picks recently, man. I know I have, but I just got to shoot out of it. And my gut's telling me that I need to be on Philly. So Philly plus 3, play number 2, and play number 3 in that same game. These games always go under for the most part, at least have a low total. It may not always hit the under, but these games have a low total for Philly and Miami. Look at the last 4 meetings. Total came in at 209. Total came in at 214. Total came at shoot, this one as well, 189. Total came in at 213. And then you had a Christmas Day game where the total did go flying over, but maybe that was a little bit of Christmas vibes. It ended up finishing at 231. Other than that, this series typically goes under a lot of defense. You look at the pace, and both of these 2 teams are bottom in the league of pace. You have a Joel Embiid led Sixers team, so you know the pace is going to be it's going to be a snail's pace. And the other thing that I like is that when you look at both of these 2 teams' offensive rebounding, they're both to the bottom of the league, absolutely horrible, 26th and 27th respectively in terms of offensive rebounding. So what does that mean? Short possessions, defense is able to get the ball back. We get a slow pace going back the other way, killing clock, a little bit more inefficiency, another off defensive rebound, and rinse and repeat there, not giving the offense more chances to score. So I love that. Give me the under 213. Those are the 2 plays for that game. So those are the 3 official plays I have that I am betting. I have a bet on those now. Philly plus 3, Philly, Miami under 213, Detroit team total over 119 and a half. The bet that I will be making later will be in the Warriors game. Golden State Warriors on the road, going to play Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers catching 3.5 at home here, 224 and a half is the total. The Warriors have been absolutely money to the first half under this season. Let's get an updated number of where they are at. The Warriors are 8-3-1 to the first half over under. So 8-3-1 to the under this season. 8-3-1 to the under in the first half. For the full game, they are 9-3 to the over. Clippers this season 4-8-1. So maybe we should we double up? Do we double up? We could double up here. Do I have a line out for that yet? No, there are no lines out for that yet. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do that. But I could take it that you guys can kind of see what I'm saying here. Warriors first half 3-8-1 over under Clippers 4-8-1 in the first half. At home, Clippers right now 1-6 to the first half number this season. 1-6 to that first half number. On the road as a favorite, the Warriors are 0-3 to that. So all these numbers, all of this is adding, and it makes sense. And the Warriors just starting the game slow, and the Clippers have been playing up in the first half, especially to competition. I think that you could see a little bit more of a defensive effort here, especially the Warriors coming to town. I can see a first half under coming through here. I don't have a number here to bet it right now, but I wouldn't be mad. And that might be the best way to play this. How I was thinking of playing it is we wait, let that first half number go down, go down, go down, and then we get in on the over. And we live bet the over for the Warriors. Caught them at a I tested it out, caught them at a it was like 228. I caught them at 228 in that game against the Grizzlies, and it went flying over in the second half. So yeah, I think that's the play. But really, I am really, really intrigued by just playing Warriors Clippers first half under and then coming back and playing the over in the second half and just completely greening up there. So that's going to be something very, very tempting. We're going to have to look out for that today with the Warriors, but that is super duper tempting there. All right. Other play that I'm tempted by really quick because I know I went over on time. The Suns are at home against the Magic. The Magic have been abysmal on the road this season. They lost they're on a 5-game losing streak on the road. They've only won 1 of 5 this season, and the only game that they won was a game that they were playing against the Miami Heat, who were a home favorite at the time. That's the Miami Heat trend can't even stop the Orlando Magic, who have been horrible on the road. I understand we haven't seen the best ball out of the Suns recently, but I think that getting a Magic team on the road who have been terrible on the road this season is a really, really good spot in the Valley. But the Suns are also coming off of a little bit of a long road trip. It was only 4 games, not 6 games, so not as bad, but not enough for me to bet right now. But maybe I'll sleep on and make that bet later. All right. That's it for me. I'm at really real underscore underscore. Make sure you give me a follow on X at Betting Pros on X and TikTok and at Betting Pros NFL on Instagram, youtube.com/Betting Pros. With that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.